Had the most amazing time in Washington, D.C. What did I do, you ask? Well, I was there for this. And I got to meet my senator. I also got to meet Tim Burchett, the congressman who does all the UAP and UFO hearings. Met him in person. Also, I stood 150 feet from the Vice President of the United States, J.D. Vance, as he was literally standing there to swear in his replacement on the Senate floor. I was there in person, and it was freaking awesome.
Welcome to the channel of the Roving Veterans.
I'm Rob.
And I'm Bethany.
And don't forget about our dog, the Traveling Maverick.
We chose our name because we RV, and we're also both military veterans.
We bought our first camper in 2020 and been full-time ever since.
Rob set this trip out because he absolutely does not like crowds. Me, on the other hand, I could not miss the inauguration in Washington, D.C., so I flew in with my cousin Doug and met up with my friends Shannon and Ryan from North Carolina.
All right, so step one of the inauguration, the airport. I officially made it. Next stop, I think Dallas, but then D.C.
Well, going through security for the first time ever, they checked my food. They wanted to make sure what the cottage cheese was. I did have a really early flight. It was at 6-something in the morning, so I got to fly watching the sun come up. I will say, having such an early flight, there was no traffic at the airport, leading me to the conclusion that from now on, when I'm flying somewhere, my butt's leaving really early in the morning because there was virtually no security. It was pretty awesome. Well, from my little seat right here, I decided I don't think this is supposed to happen, so I just got it on video just in case. As we got a little closer to DC, I'm talking you could see snow, ice all over the place. Must have been really cold down there, wherever that was. Now entering DC, you see? Yep, the Potomac. It was frozen, which meant it must have been really cold for a really long time. Flying in from Phoenix, you could say that I am not used to the cold, so that was interesting.
Well, I made it to D.C., y'all. It was 50-something, and now it's snow. I got my 55-pound suitcase brought up those stairs. It was a little rough. It took a minute just because I guess this one unit has multiple different condos, the way they have it subdivided or however they call it. So I went in the wrong one. There was someone in there. Thankfully, he was just this guy's contractor, so it wasn't weird or anything.
How much snow is in DC? About that much.
It was sure a lot warmer in Arizona this morning. So here we are in Washington, D.C. and it's snowing. We're not used to this. Doug's California, Arizona. No, it's too cold out here. But we're gonna have a blast.
We did walk to the other side of the block to a restaurant called The Pub and the People, and we ate dinner here on 2 different nights. I will say the food was really good. I got a chicken quesadilla, Doug got the sausage, and he also got the pumpkin soup.
I just got off the phone with my congressman. My phone's probably still a little shaky because I've been shaking because I'm so excited because we're officially going to the inauguration. Got tickets. My cousin Doug over here, he's joining. He's coming from California. And then I got a couple friends coming later on in the week from North Carolina. We're excited. I made it to the Capitol building. Now all I got to do is go get my tickets from Tennessee's Congressman Desjardins.
Have you ever seen purple snow?
I never had until today.
That's interesting.
I officially made it into the Capitol building to get tickets from Congressman Desjardins from Tennessee. Got the old cousin Doug going up the stairs. Yeah, almost there.
My congressman, Scott Desjardins, is an MD, and he is a big veteran advocate. He, as a civilian, worked in Iraq, Afghanistan, and also Guantanamo Bay. So, yes, he's a big veteran supporter. And this is his office. In the Rayburn building of the Capitol, there is a wall that shows all of the people who were killed to support the wars that have been going on since 9/11. I went to basic and AIT with PFC Avery. When exiting the Rayburn wing, you could see where they were already set up for the inauguration. Gotta say, I've never seen an official inauguration ticket until this. It was pretty cool. But my question is, why is Trump's name not on it? Amy Klobuchar sure put her people's name on it, though. I'm ticket 15,010 out of 200,000.
I could have easily just showed up to pick up my tickets for this, but I was nice and talked and nerded out, and then I got this. So now I'm going to an inauguration reception. I had to do my RSVP on that one. I actually have to do that now because I haven't done that yet, but yeah, that was gonna be cool. Alright, so made it back from the grocery store with all of the food that we're gonna cook for the evening. And
we decided to do an easy one-pot meal tonight, so that way we didn't really have a lot of cooking that we had to do or cleaning that we had to do, and we were both kind of tired after a whole day. I had already drained the water at this point, but this is about what it looks like whenever you're done. One-pot meals make for a quick, easy cleanup. My favorite. Yeah.
well, we tried the whole scooter thing, and apparently half of DC you can't ride them because of the inauguration weekend and scooter, you know. So it was fun. We rode around for like 30 minutes, and now we're just gonna walk into Capitol Hill area, so that way we don't have to worry about where to park the scooters, because that was part of the problem, was where to park them, because it wouldn't even let us park them anywhere. So just know that when you're going in. And yep, they're here, but guess what? We're here too, and we're on the other side of all this.
Birthday to come up against the preteen. Don't come up. Oh, look at this, an old woman talking like a pervert, talking like a youthful child here.
Yes.
Talking about sex parts here.
Go him. It takes a very, very strong person to do this.
Oh, that he is giving you food and clothing with these. We shall. You guys are you. I'm not here to condemn you. I'm not here to condemn you. Jesus says, I did not come to condemn. We care about you.
Amen. Amen.
But you don't care about your own bodies. You don't care, you know why? Because in the end, you're going to stand down. Your body's, the reflecting body's going to stay in the grave. But
Bill, we officially made it out of the accidentally walking into the crazy people protest. So now we're actually going to do the mission, which is see all of the monuments and stuff, museums. So hey, we're walking towards the Washington Monument as we speak. Well, we made it to the White House, but you can't tell at all. Fence on fence on fence. And now we've made it to the Department of Treasury, the place where they take all your money without asking and spend it stupidly. Well, we officially made it to the big guy. Washington Monument right here. Well, I made it to the little Washington Monument area where I guess the inauguration, something was supposed to happen over here, but they put it all down and they're tearing it all back up. So Doug here...
This might be your last photo of me living.
Doug here says he's going to try to walk all the way to the top of this if they'll let us in.
You might have problems.
I think it might take a whole day for us to do that. But you know what? We're about to figure out if we can or not, because we got to get up here first. I've been walking towards it and officially made it. I've been here before, but it's been... So for those of you who don't know, this flag means someone from this household is currently deployed. Because when I was in Afghanistan, my family had one with 2 stars because my brother was also deployed. If you have kids all day, every day, the Science Museum, the Natural History Museum is super neat, super cool. We're on our way to Arlington. We're really bundled up because it's really cold outside, but that car is hot. It is hot, ain't it? Alright, so current situation is we came to Arlington for the wreath laying ceremony, and they're not letting it open to the public, which is quite upsetting because all the crazy people are in town that want to kill him right now. They're not letting anybody even in the cemetery, so.
I did stick my phone through the fence so I could get a little bit of footage, but we did return to Arlington a different day. Trump is going to be here any minute now, and they're closing it until like 2 for security reasons, but it's really unfortunate. We got the bomb detectors out, thankfully. And again, they're just looping. You can kind of see it in the background, but it's almost here, y'all. Here he comes. It's a lot of cops up front.
Those guys in the front were kitted up, like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they make it to where you cannot see in the windows on purpose, so that way you can't even see which one he's in. Now slowing down. Secret Service police. Man, he has an entourage everywhere he goes, don't he? You know, Trump's a felon now, so he can't carry a gun. Good thing he don't need one. Oh, that dude was all kitted up for sure in the Wagoneer. Was that it? Well, unfortunately, we didn't quite make it to be able to go into the ceremony. So we're going to take the subway back into town, and we're going to try to get into the Capital One Arena. Don't know if it's going to happen or not, but we're going to try.
Well, I've never lived anywhere personally that has this train, subway, whatever you call them, but when in Rome, right? So we're going to figure the subway out one way or another.
The lights are blinking on the subway. Now we gotta let them come off before we get on. Well, what had happened was, we apparently are really bad at the subway.
Bad.
Get an ass in the subway. We all tried to
Bad.
get off the subway at one stop, and we did not make it, so I got trapped on the subway, and them, well, not these three, these two of the four, got to get off of that subway.
And then immediately following,
And immediately following what happened,
we did it again.
we did it again, and we left Shannon's husband this time. So we're just all getting off here, and we're going to meet up here. We'll see what happens from here. All right, let's figure out where Ryan went, because hopefully there he is. We found him.
I mean, we have like 4,000. So cool. Yeah.
So one of Trump's inaugural balls will be right in a hotel over there. So they have all of this going on, just so the crazy people can't get in to mess with him. Ain't that wild? So we got all of these, and nobody will move out of the way. We just, that's the salt truck, and here's the freshly laid salt. Well, we're officially 8 minutes from our condo that we rented, and we're walking in to sleep, but we're almost there. Then we got to change clothes real quick and get ready for the Tennessee inauguration reception. So we own it.
So the politicians of the state of Tennessee had their own inauguration reception where I was able to meet all of my politicians. My Congressman Scott DeJoy, East Tennessee's Tim Burchett, he does the UFO hearings, by the way. Also my Senator Marsha Blackburn. Like a good politician, she actually holds town halls. As an extra surprise, we met friends that watch our channel.
All right, the day has come. It is Inauguration Day in Washington, D.C., and everybody's excited about it. Let's do this. Yeah. Here in D.C., ready for the fun action. We even got the MPs back here. You know, I used to be one of those guys. Anyway, we're ready for a fun day. What you see when you're walking down the street in D.C. I've had to do this kind of thing before, but it's been a while, thankfully. Happy little veteran / civilian now. We are entering, I suppose, the area where a lot of the inaugural folks are. All here to usher in the new administration. What you got over here?
Make him want to end it again.
Yes! Well, we're rushing to try to get to anywhere that we can watch the inauguration at this point because everything is so blocked off. You have to walk blocks and blocks just to get to the other side of the street. So we got about 20 minutes before the big man does a speech, and we don't even know where we're watching it from yet. It's unfortunate because we had tickets for the inauguration and it's 20 minutes before and we don't even know what we're doing. From having tickets to the inauguration to 15 minutes before they start, and we don't even know where we're watching it because everything keeps changing. Everything keeps changing. But some military people we talked to last night said wasn't canceled for snow, wasn't canceled for the weather, and that's why things keep changing. We are officially 2 minutes before President Trump retakes office. We're just in the street because we don't have anywhere else to go. But at least we're here with a bunch of other people.
Doing that media stuff.
Since they were afraid of terrorist activity, they did not want a big group of people in one spot, so I was kind of shocked they let us be all right here.
They got some porta potties, or they have some real toilets, and of course, as usual, there's 2 women, because we take a lot longer, or should I say, most women take a lot longer. So we are on Pennsylvania Avenue currently, which is the road of the White House. So it's officially been like cloudy the whole time we've been here, and all of a sudden Trump's president, and even the weather got happy and the sun came out. I think that's a good sign, y'all. Well, that's quite interesting. That don't happen very easily. We found somewhere to at least celebrate afterwards. We are officially in the New York GOP launch party.
What's he making for you?
Lobster mac and cheese.
And boy, was it good.
Oh, there he is. There he goes. There he is.
We ended up in a place called Carmine's, and we celebrated with a whole bunch of other people who were on the same page, like-minded, and had a blast.
We made it. I had my beanie on all day. We made it inside and watching all of the festivities with a whole bunch of other people.
We spent a really good afternoon with a lot of people that we had never met before, all having a blast.
Well, we successfully made it through the inauguration day, and we're a little tired, so instead of hanging out downtown with everybody else who's in the celebration mode, we're just we made us some steaks, marinated 3 days so far, and they're good.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Got some balsamic vinegar Brussels sprouts and some potatoes.
We're on the way up.
We're in the elevator in the Washington Monument.
So I'm currently at the very top of the Washington Monument, the big pointy thing that's in Washington, D.C. So we miraculously got tickets, thankfully. But they even got a mini split in here. I'm at the very top of the Washington Monument right now. This is overlooking, can you guess? The White House. So this window is going to be the Thomas Jefferson Memorial. Look how frozen, man. It's all frozen. So if you really look, there's a fence, and a fence, and then a fence. And
from this window we have the Lincoln Memorial. So there are lightning rods. These are all lightning rods that have been used on this. So the Washington Monument is taller than the Great Pyramids. Look at that. When built, the Washington Monument was the tallest building in the world. Kind of neat. This window is the view of the Capitol building. And this is a close-up of what the Washington Monument is built from.
All to showcase the strength and breadth of Washington's legacy. Pretty much anyone and everyone who wanted to honor General Washington did so. One person who didn't understand the point of the commemorative stones was Peter Force, a former mayor of history to the first phase of construction. Stones were required to be made from native materials. You'll see a lot of marble, limestone, and granite, but there are some unique stones as well. Arizona's is made of petrified wood, Hawaii's is coral, Alaska's is jade, and Wisconsin's is cheese. Not really, but isn't it nice to think so? Thank you for visiting the Washington Monument.
Alright, now this little tidbit of information to me is very vitally important for you, especially if you don't want to walk more than you have to. When you're trying to go see the Washington Monument, you have to get your tickets in this building. If you go all the way up there, they're going to send you all the way back down here. So do yourself a favor and stop at this building before walking up there, because it is a little bit of an incline. It's not terrible. I would equate it to about Horseshoe Bend's going back up part. That's about the incline that it's going to be. So as far as mobility issues, you can make it if somebody's pushing you, but I would say whoever it is probably going to be tired by the time they get up to the top, unless they want to pull you backwards. I don't know if they allow wheelchairs in there or not, but one thing I do know is it's an elevator. You don't have to climb any steps, so it's quite a simple thing. It doesn't take long to see it, obviously, but they only give out 1,000 tickets a day. So that's not a whole lot of people who get access to go up there. We were just lucky that today is so cold that a lot of people don't want to get out, but it's our last day in DC, so we're going to do what we can while we're here.
We did make it back to Arlington, but I'm just going to give you a tidbit because I'll put it on a future episode.
They are made of white Vermont marble, 42 inches tall, 24 inches above ground, 18 inches in ground, 14 inches wide, and 4 inches thick. On the driver's side, you're looking at the back of the grave markers and may see the name of a spouse or dependent child. The service member's information is on the front side of the grave marker.
So I'm currently really trying to get to the tomb of the unknown soldier to catch the ceremony, but I'm not sure if I'm going to make it. I'm really trying here, though. Well, I'm at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, and this current location, usually you can get in here, but because of all the snow and ice, they have it closed off so nobody can get hurt, which I understand, but yeah.
Time for our tour of the Capitol building.
We are currently under the road,
It's a massive.
and I got this little bad boy to keep me safe.
Here we go.
After the emancipation of the slaves, they entered the slaves, partially the slaves who helped construct the United States Capitol. And then the big part of it is the original plaster cast that was used for the Statue of Freedom, which sits on top of
The Capitol building,
the
right?
Capitol.
So these right here, these pillars are holding the entire Capitol building on top. That's crazy to think about. Center of DC, right here. This is the rotunda.
This is where the inauguration was yesterday.
And this is where the inauguration was yesterday in this building. So
24 hours ago, this would have been packed.
Painted by a guy named Constantino Bromidi. After the Capitol Dome was finished, which was in the 1860s, like right during and then after the Civil War, is when this dome was finally finished. There used to be a different dome called Goldfinch's Dome, which was more like Monticello kind of. It wasn't this big, grand, giant dome. And you'll see George Washington. Can you see Washington?
I can. He's in the middle.
He's flanked by 2 Greek goddesses, and then surrounding him is 13 women who represent the 13 original colonies.
Huh.
Outside of that is different paintings representing the different sectors of the United States economy. So you have marine, you have agriculture, you have commerce.
This spot right here. This spot right here is where Trump got his inauguration just yesterday. So about this time yesterday. Unfortunately, there was no camera allowed for the next part. There are no cameras allowed inside the Senate floor. However, the coolest thing just happened. I sat there and watched J.D. Vance swear in the 2 new senators, his replacement and Marco Rubio's replacement. So freaking cool. We totally nerded out. We had no idea that was happening today. So we were about 100 feet from J.D. Vance today. So cool. Y'all,
I'm really excited for
we just watched J.D. Vance in real life in person. Where my congressman set us up tickets for a tour today, and his staffer did us the little tour today, and then left us in the Capitol building with our little passes to be able to do the House of Representatives viewing area and the Senate. We did not even know that we were going to be able to see him. Super cool. Time to depart DC, and I got a whole row to myself on the airplane. How does that work? Seeing DC from the sky always looks really neat. It also looked a little crazy how frozen everything was. I mean, we were there, so we saw it, but man, it looks even colder from the sky, doesn't it? My flight back was from DC to Chicago, and then from Chicago straight to Phoenix. If you thought DC looked freezing, look at Chicago. Look how frozen this lake was. Well, I finally landed in Phoenix. Time to get to courtside and get to that RV rally. For those of you who have been watching our channel for a while, you know we don't do politics on our page. However, in real life, I have been a political nerd since I was a little bitty kid. I remember in kindergarten going in the voting booth with my father, and I've been curious and into politics ever since. The week of the election, I contacted both my congressman and my senator requesting tickets because I knew that's the only way you could get tickets to the inauguration. For the entire inauguration, between all 50 states, only 200,000 tickets were given out. Even though it ended up being moved in, it was still pretty neat that at the end of the day, I have an official invitation to the inauguration, which I will keep forever. I flew into DC on the 16th and out on the 22nd, so we spent about a week in DC. Anyone that knows me in real life knows I make friends anywhere I go. Doesn't matter if I know you or not, we're friends by the end. If you're new to our channel, we are Bethany and Rob, and we are the Roving Vets. We are a full-time RV living channel, but as you see, from time to time, one or two of us, both of us, fly places. Rob doesn't like crowds, so he set this one out. But if full-time RV living, cruises, flights, going here and there sounds like something that might interest you, make sure you subscribe to our channel and check out where we're going next. We're always on the move and going somewhere neat. We post videos every Tuesday unless something happens to where we can't. Alright guys, thanks again for watching, and until next time.